This lesson is on midpoint of a line segment. As with the length of a line segment or distance between 2 points, we're dealing with points that are on a coordinate grid. So I'm going to start by creating a coordinate grid. So here is my y-axis. There's my x-axis. I will give it a scale, again, where 1 unit is represented by 1 square on the grid. So there's 2 and 4, minus 2, minus 2, minus 4. So the best thing to do is to start with an example. So I'm just going to switch colors here. All right, so we'll start with the point A is -2, 1. And that's a negative. And another point 4, 5. So that's point B, which is 4, 5, and that's a comma. And I will join these 2 points to create a line segment. I'll try to do it as straight as possible. All right, so there's my line segment. So the midpoint is based on really an average because we're looking for the halfway point between these 2 points. So what we'll end up doing is averaging, we'll be averaging both the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. So our midpoint formula looks something like this. Well, it looks like this. So midpoint is x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Because we are taking the halfway point between both the coordinates. So we have the midpoint is -2 plus 4 divided by 2. Whoops. And 1 plus 5 divided by 2. That gives us 2 over 2 and 6 divided by 2. So our midpoint is one, 3. And if we look here, that point is right here. So that's our midpoint, 1, 3. And that looks, visually, that looks correct. So the best thing to do is to work through another example. So I'm going to choose the points -3, 2, which is here. And this is going to be G, -3, 2. And I'm going to use the point 2, -6. And that will be H, 2, -6. And I will attempt to connect these in as straight a line as possible. Oh, we'll just erase that a little bit. There we go. And we will go through the midpoint formula. Now, sometimes students say, well, does it matter which I choose as point 1 or point 2? And the answer is no, as long as you're consistent. So if we know that the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. As with distance formula, just label your points. So I'm going to choose G as point 1. So this will be x1, and this will be y1, and 2 will be x2, and -6 will be y2. And that way you don't get confused between which one is which. So this way it makes sure that you're as consistent as possible. So I have -3 plus 2, all divided by 2. And I have 2 plus -6, all divided by 2. Oh, I don't know what that is. So my midpoint is minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1 over 2. And 2 plus negative 6 is negative 4 over 2. So I have negative 1/2. That's as reduced as it gets. And negative 2. So if I look at my coordinate grid, I did not a bad job with my straight line. And there we go. We have the midpoint is negative 1/2, negative 2. All right. So that in general is the midpoint formula. It's fairly straightforward, but there's a couple of things that I'd like to do next, just in terms of applications of the midpoint.